Make sure you think. Make sure you do the thing again.
No.
There you go. There you go. That was us, not you that time.
Like, God again.
All right. Well, we
Hey.
want to welcome everyone who is logging in on the different channels. And first of all, we just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. We just thought it was necessary to have
Right.
28 Days of Love. It's
Yes.
interesting how love has just been put on the back burner, but we're just bringing it back out front where it belongs, in relationships, in marriages, and in covenant. So that's why we are talking about 28 full days.
Full day.
As Newt says, how do you do it? 28 days, 30 minutes, 5 days a week. We're going to talk about this good love thing.
Yep. Can you spend 30 minutes a day to make your marriage relationship tighter, better, enrich it? Or if you want to get married, hear from some folks who are successfully doing this thing so you can get in position.
Yes.
Because marriage is simple,
Yeah.
but it's not easy.
We're the difficult ones.
Yeah, we're the difficult ones, right?
And so tonight, guys, I'm so excited. I don't know if we're ready to announce it, but I'm so excited that they're here.
We're announcing, get the drum roll.
I'm so
The
excited.
champ is here.
The champ is here. The champ and his beautiful wife is here.
Yes.
Mr. TP himself, Mr. Motivational.
Yeah, and we
The
have
author, the speaker.
But I, from the standpoint where I see it, I know that behind the what you see is an engine.
That's right.
And there's an engine there that no one often sees.
That's right.
And without that engine, that car cannot run. So I am I'm blessed to have Tanique here as well.
Yes.
Am I saying it right? Is it Tanique?
It's Tanique.
Tanique.
All right, Tanique.
Tanique.
Say it like you got some soul, brother. Tanique.
Well, we've got two great inspirational people who are young, who got married and are doing the thing.
Right.
And for those of you who are joining us, we started this week with those love languages.
Exactly.
So that's what our focus is going to be about today, talking about love languages, how we, what speaks to us and what, meets our need and the things that touch us, We all took our love language challenge this week, and some of you did, and you posted. So if you're out there, if you're joining, please make sure you share, hit like, and share your post of what your scores were.
Yes.
Go ahead, babe.
No.
Oh, this is the thing that you guys understand. This is what happens in marriage. You feel like they just taking a breath, like they about to talk.
Well, since you said it, let me go back for a second before we get the Parkers on and start interviewing and talking, so you guys can learn from them. This is the 28 Days of Love Challenge. So it started today. So usually on a Monday and a Friday, Kim and I will, kind of solo it and prelude, preview some things. But since the first is on a Tuesday, we want to stay with our pattern. And that's when we knew we could get the Parkers.
Yes.
They're going to kick this thing off for us. But we want to let you know, it's a 28 Days of Love challenge. So on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you can go ahead and go join the group. We'll have activities. We'll have things for you to do throughout the month. You can share pictures. You can share lives. You can share just what's on your mind in that Facebook group, so folks can be encouraged, uplifted, and celebrate love.
Exactly.
Because that's something that, especially in these days and times, we don't always get a chance to stop and to appreciate, not just our partners and, that are with us, but the essence of love itself. So that's what this whole thing's about. Like Kim said, it is the languages. The languages of love, the 5 languages of love. I know there's a 7 languages of love challenge,
there are.
but that got to be too many numbers for me. So and I teach math too, but we kept it down to 5, right? Because I could deal with that, right? So listen, we've been talking a lot, giving people a chance to kind of get on, and we have the Parkers.
Yes.
So before we get into this, there are some things that you guys do outside of just being married. So tell us just a little bit about some of your enterprises so folks can know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously, a lot of people know I have the lawn care. I've had the lawn care for about 10 years. Tavon's Lawn Care. We service Central Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Harrisburg, Columbia, obviously York, Dallastown, Dover, and everything in between. On top of the lawn care, we launched a nonprofit this year called the Advantage Program.
Woo.
Oh well, yeah. Last June we launched a nonprofit called the Advantage Program.
Yes, and then we have. I am an accountant on the side. My career, this is what I've always wanted to do. I guess I piggybacked a little bit off track. The Advantage Program, our 3 goals are mentorship, advocacy, sustainable plan, and also a exposure for the young men that we have age 7 through 17. We meet Saturdays, and yeah, everything has been awesome.
And
wow,
That's awesome.
that is awesome.
She has her not her regular 9-to-5 accountant, the regular grind, and then I do motivational speaking as well as like you guys said, published author, and everything that an entrepreneur entails.
So I'm tripping right now because I forgot to put my shirt on.
I know, and my shirt's over there. Listen, I'm representing to
So I'm
change.
gonna have to wear your shirt another night. I forgot to put my shirt on. And we got the same thing, but it's in reverse. I had the black one. She got the white one.
I know we was just talking about switching seats.
It's all good.
That's crazy.
It's all good.
So we applaud you for all that you're doing in the community for folks, the community service part, your entrepreneurial piece.
Yeah.
I know you employ some young folks too, usually in the summer. Is that correct?
Absolutely. One of the core, I know one of the things that we talk about, core values of our family is really trying to not just practice the talking piece, but the action piece, and try to provide tangible opportunities for a lot of these young people. Like it's easy to say don't sell drugs, but what am I supposed to do for money?
Yes,
right.
Love it.
It's a tangible piece. That's one of the things that we definitely aim to do.
Love it. I mean, we could go back and forth. That's one of the things that I keep saying a lot. Like our school systems and things like that, they're all great, but there needs to be an alternative. There needs to be choices. You know, it needs to lead to something, some options.
Well, we're going to have him come another time.
Yeah,
him and
we
Tanique,
can get in on
another
that.
time and really share
we can rub
what
down
it is
on
that you guys do. I mean, we would love that.
Right.
But tonight, since we're going to focus on love, I need to know, how did you guys meet?
Yeah. How'd you meet?
Talk to him.
Well, you know, there's always different stories. Like, oh, this is how we met, and he has a whole different story. But I think this one we definitely agree on. I moved here from Jamaica, and I started freshman year of high school, and that's initially where we met each other. And then after that, we had class together, and then it's like, oh, you're the girl that lives down the street.
Oh, okay.
And then here we are. So
yes, I love that.
What was that? 2009?
Nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that's
he was
amazing.
telling- He knew you lived down the street. He's seen
had a plan, right? I just didn't know.
Yeah, he had a plan. I love it though. I love it.
Yes.
That's somebody who knows what they want.
Yes.
And, you know,
Gotta go for it.
they go after
Gotta
what they
go
want.
after that.
I love that.
God's plan.
That's right. There it is. God's plan.
Love it.
And
love
whenever whenever you're trusting God, you're definitely following His plan, which becomes your plan. So I love that.
So I gotta ask this: you met her, you saw her, you know, what caught your attention?
Yeah.
What about her grabbed you?
So she was always one of those girls that was like, I'm not worried about this, I'm focused on that. So like in high school, this was me, the focus on that was school. So like we met freshman year, but we didn't really start dating until like the end of junior, almost senior year, because somebody was playing hard to get. I kind of like that though, because even if we're living down the street, it was just like nope, and it was just like okay, cool. So I guess that's cool. They ain't gonna discourage me.
It just motivated you. It just motivated you. You know.
So you liked her independence. You liked the fact she was going to make up her mind with what she wanted for herself.
The end of I think the word I would use, because words are important. The word I would use is focus. I like that.
Okay. I like it.
Since high school, ever since a young age, it was a focus. I'm here for a reason. I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to get my education so I can go to college, so I can get my job and do what you're doing now.
Got it.
So have you guys, like, did you establish a mission for your marriage and for your family? Have you guys established that?
Yeah. So what the mission for our family, the biggest mission, because one thing we never wanted to do was limit ourselves to just York. I know sometimes that might sound bad, but the core of what we want to do as a family is to be able to provide opportunities for people. Whether that's right now it's the youth, but through different businesses, it's also adults. But it's just really trying to provide opportunities for you to be great in whatever aspect that is for your life.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Love that.
So the go-to strategy.
So with your mission though, before we kind of move on, what kind of things do you do together on purpose or whatever, even unintentionally? What kind of things are coming up so that you're making sure that you're continually moving towards that mission? That thing that makes you guys who you are.
Well, one of the biggest things we do is daily meetings.
Good.
On these meetings popped up like, TP meeting. It's like, hey, I'm meeting with Tanique. But she's very, very organized and very detail oriented. So it kind of works where I'm the visionary. I can have the vision, and as soon as I tell her the vision, her mind starts calculating how we're going to plan this thing out. So it's very important for us. Like every day we have a meeting to flush ideas out and see what's realistic, see what it's going to take, and kind of make sure we stay on the same page.
That is awesome.
I love that.
So what about a go-to strategy when there's like conflict that may arise? If there's something that happens and it becomes difficult, what is your go-to strategy? What do you do to deal with it?
Conflict, happy wife, happy life. She's always right. I'm joking. Go ahead.
One thing we're big on is never go to sleep angry at each other.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Communicate. No matter how mad you are, you can take 5 minutes, but listen, before we go to sleep, we have to come back and we talk about it. I think we probably will have the same answer on that, but that's definitely big for us. Communication. If something happens, it's, I have to step aside. I have to talk to Tavon. I'm sorry, I can't keep it together. But it's really just making sure you're always on the same page, because with how busy we are, it's easy for things to get, for him to say something, I take it the wrong way, or for things to get misinterpreted. And, you get busy sometimes and get stressed out. So it does happen. But one thing we're big on is definitely communication and making sure.
That communication is so key.
I'm putting your nuggets in the text. That's
so
what I'm doing. I'm posting your nuggets.
I'm probably going to continue to ask some questions. So often in marriage, husbands and wives have different love languages, which we knew just from taking that quick love language quiz. And just want to know if you two are aware of your love language.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
We have since how old were we?
So
it was in college, because
it was fairly young. I wouldn't say college. I think what happened was the book fell into my hands while I was in jail, and I read it and was like, hey, I think you should read this book. And she read it, and then it was like, hey, they have one for kids too, and we kind of read that, and then ever since then it kind of stuck. And this is one of those where knowledge is power. Once you know, you can't unknow.
Right.
Now, if you're not kind of doing what the book says, if you're not loving me the right way, it's intentional. You know that I don't like that. What feeds me, what fuels me. Right. So it was like that kind of happened. God's plan.
Wow.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, that is good.
I love the fact that he said he couldn't even. Once you learn something, you can't unknow it.
Yes.
That's true. And sometimes you find yourself like, why am I really mad? And you're like, well, everything I'm doing, that's not what his love language is. So of course, nothing's getting solved. So being aware, and I mean, for us at a young age, I think that's worked to its advantage.
Well, what are the languages?
Well, mine is quality time.
And mine is physical touch.
That's funny.
I think I commented, you posted in the challenge, and I think I commented how they work well together. So you don't even have to try hard. You like quality time, you like physical touch. So if I'm with you, spending time together, we can,
not all the time, no. not all the time, because
physical touch is at the bottom of the list.
Physical touch is at the bottom of the list. So it's like we can hang out. You could be on that couch and I could be on this couch. And if I come over here, it's like, hey man, what are you doing? I thought we
I love it.
Yeah, figuring for me, that's really at the bottom of the list. And I've taken the test a few times, and it's always at the bottom of the list.
Right.
The percentage keeps dropping every time, surprisingly too. But it's just being aware, like, dude, you know, that's really not my thing, but I'm aware that that's his thing. So here we're compromising, right?
Wow.
So it's not like you can't ever touch me. It's not ever not going to work, but it's just knowing that's my husband. Why, you know?
So because it's important to you.
Yes.
We make some allowances here and there.
That is so good. It's interesting. And you guys will probably see as you get older in your relationship, in your marriage, take the test again.
Yes.
And see what happens. Because when I took it years ago, the order was different. And so now mine is physical touch, number 1, which it was number 3 before.
Wow.
So those things have shifted and changed. Quality time is number 2 for me now. It used to be, physical touch used to be 2. Quality time used to be 3. So it was just different. So it shifted for me now. Yeah.
So along those lines, knowing that, there's 5 love languages, we're all subject to different things growing up. So there's different things that conform us and shape us and, make us who we are, influence us. So we have these 2 different languages, if you will, by which we inherently operate without even trying, right? So what kind of things do you do? And you kind of led to this a little bit, Tanique. What do you do to, I'm going to say, become bilingual, to learn that other language and be able to decipher it, to keep things moving smooth in your relationship
and meet the need of your loved one.
Yes, you.
Both of you.
Well, I think for me, it's really just paying attention and also being aware of what the love languages are. Cater to each of them sometimes. I know for me also that works, words of affirmation, acts of service, a little bit of that, just sprinkle it a little bit in there. It works magic. But yeah, I just go above and beyond, pay attention. You'll know what they like. You'll know the routines. You'll hear what they complain about, what they won't put up with. So it's really, again, communication, listening, paying attention. So
how about you, Tavon?
So for me, the way I try to become bilingual is understanding that quality time doesn't mean physical touch, right? Like that's my love language. So one thing I would do is if we're driving in the car, for example, it's like, hey, is it all right if I hold your hand? So that way it's like, okay, cool. You know that we're holding hands and that's perfectly fine with me, but I'm not going to hold your hand and all of a sudden you're annoyed, feeling like you're forced to hold my hand. So like she said, it's really the communication, but understanding that your love language is your love language. My love language is I can't expect me to try to physical touch you and you to receive that love. So it's really just what you understand, trying to really cater and feed to your loved one and not being selfish and like, hey, well, I want this. Like, it's not really about that. It's about trying to love you in your language.
Wow. So meeting her need as well as getting your needs met, it just seems like it works together when you have communication. Right. Is that what I'm hearing you guys? Yeah, that's so awesome. Luke's like posting all your nips. He's posting all the nuggets.
Trying to keep up. That was
so
good.
Powerful because we're learning so much even from you guys. I'm telling you.
I like that he said yours is yours, mine is mine. Just because it's mine, it's not yours. So respecting those boundaries. So that makes you bilingual.
Yeah.
In love languages. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you guys, what how do we want to say this next question?
I feel like they answered most of it, but I want to go ahead down to the knowing the marriage is a journey.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you go ahead and answer that question.
So you've been married how long again?
12, 21, 18.
Ooh, okay. 12, 21, 18. I love it.
Remember the date. That's what a lot of older people told me. Just remember the date.
Remember the date. Now, see, that's funny because I'm the one that forgets. I was like, what was it? It's today.
Yeah. She forgets the date and I forget the years.
I'm so bad.
Yeah.
I remember the years.
So I'll always be a year behind. You know, I count the one. I don't count the one that was over until it was over.
Right.
I mean, like, no, you got this thing messed up, bro.
So, but anyway, marriage is a journey, you know, and the longer you're together, the more you learn about each other,
right?
You know, and consequently, the more you learn about yourself, actually, right? So I think we kind of put the question down to say, since you're constantly traveling this road with your spouse, right? You know, what things do you do on purpose to continue to build your relationship with your spouse? Now, outside of the love languages, the journey itself, what are you doing to make that journey more rich for one another, for your children and everyone? These are things, these are nuggets you're sharing, these are secrets you're sharing with everybody outside now.
Right. So I mean, I'll start it and let Tanique take it. But one of the blessings for us is that we were able to connect at such a young age where we didn't have anything. So everything that we've been able to amass, we've literally built together. And it's just like at the fact that both of us are 26, the future's so bright. But diving into that, like we started with, I mean, we were living in each other's college dorm rooms. Anyway, you want to walk them through the process?
Dorm room to an efficiency, and to a 1-bedroom to what? A
Talk to
3-bedroom. Well, I don't want to say it wrong. Room, and then we had our daughter, and we moved to a house, connected house with 5 rooms.
Like a row home.
A row home, and to now we bought our first home a year or 2 years ago.
Woo!
Yeah, seems like a long time ago. But yeah, just being able to take those steps and appreciating the growth, because something that I find hard to understand, because I didn't, date like a lot and get that experience. So I struggle with really looking at people and just understanding, I feel like I lost my train of thought. Just looking at people and figuring out
how we grow.
Right. Like what motivates you to grow, but having that legacy and knowing that you built that together, you want to hold on to that and you cherish it a lot more. So it's just being able to, look back and like, yeah, we did all that. So, and we did it together. So, and now we're here. So it's awesome to really look back at, actually.
And one thing that I learned is everybody's journey is different, and the ability for us to put goals together and then accomplish those goals kind of gives us fewer motivation to then create new goals and kind of accomplish those. So it's like when you look back, it's like, wow, we accomplished all these things, but it's kind of like any business that we started or any endeavor that we started, where it's like, hey, we start this baby here and we have to build it. And I remember even when we were talking, it was like, okay, we have the foundation, we got the first floor. Now we just have to keep adding to that.
Yeah,
but like, at least that foundation was already strong. So that's kind of how we grow together, because it's just we've done so many things already, and being so young that it's like, well, we know that if we have a plan, we have a goal, the steps that we need to put in place so we can go accomplish that.
Wow. I just love this. It reminds me of my son, Newt, and his wife. Yeah. This is something that they said. We had nothing. Almost exact same words. That we had nothing. They met in college. Yeah. They started from there and they had nothing and they built it together. And their story is very similar. I love that. Did you want to say something? No. There's one other thing I want to ask you guys before I just let you share whatever it is that you want to share with everyone.
We got a question for you guys too.
Oh, okay. Yes, I love it.
Okay.
Well, let you ask your question.
Do that.
Well, one thing that we discussed is obviously you guys have been married longer than us. So what is one thing that when you guys first got married changed from then till now?
Oh, wow. Well, number one, we were young.
She don't have that blue Tommy Hill figure short set. That thing caught my attention.
Some of the things that changed was, well, keep in mind, we came together as a blended family. Okay. So I had my 3 children and I was married previously. Newt was married. He had his children. So we came together and created that. So our lives were extremely busy taking care of kids. in the very beginning,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
On our honeymoon, we decided to come back home so we could go to our kids' football game. Southwest football game. And we were excited to go. And so what the thing that has changed is that the children are gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they were all gone, we ended up moving to California. But what's changed is that it's now Newt and I.
Right.
Right.
And getting used to being okay with no kids around.
Yeah, there was no filter between her and I.
Yeah.
So we, at that time, and I'm saying it like this, realized how much we liked each other or didn't like each other.
Yeah.
You know,
you learned some things.
Yeah, everything was there was no filter.
Because the kids were a distraction. They were a great distraction. But, you don't really get to build that thing when you've gotten all this stuff around you. Right. And so that's why we wrote our book, Baggage Claim, because there were some things that we carried into the relationship from our previous marriages that we never dealt with.
Right.
So
we got a couple minutes, but I want to add something to that answer from my perspective. So I just background, I was the youngest. I had two sisters, and I was the youngest, and the sister closest to me was 6 years older than me. So I was basically always kind of by myself, if that makes sense. And I was spoiled. Right? So I didn't have a lot of trust for others. I had went through a marriage before this one, and it ended poorly. There was a lot of broken trust, it was just a bad situation. We get married again, and I didn't fully trust Kim or anyone else. That was my way to protect myself, and the biological children that I had brought, to the marriage. As time went on, I realized more and more that we were on the same team. That whatever impacted her impacted me. You know how they say ride or die? It wasn't really ride or die. It was ride and live. Right. Ride and live. So that became more apparent for me as time went on, such that now there's no shame. Yeah. There's no hidden, things you can, compartments or anything like that. Whatever it is, we could put it on the table, and we're on the same team. Yeah. We can work this thing out together.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome and powerful.
So they got us. They interviewed us.
I love them. I love these two.
So I've been tapping some things in the chat. I actually lost the last one. My thumb moved, so I got to go back and put that one in. How you guys built things together. Yes. So listen, it is. We told you we would take a half an hour of your time. We took 28 minutes. Is there any one last thing? If you were going to say something to married folks, to make their marriage better, or if you're going to say something to someone who wants to be married, to get in position so that they can start off on a good foot. Yeah. What would you say?
I know for me, and one thing Mr. Motivation preaches here is consistency. Be intentional, be consistent in whatever you do in life in general, but for someone that you love, someone that you're in a relationship with, I'm assuming there's a future, there's plans. So you have to, it's an investment. You have to cherish your investment, put the time in. Be consistent and be intentional.
That was a bar. It is an investment. What I would say is one of the things that obviously I stand for, and that's change the narrative, right? A lot of people look at marriage a certain type of way. Feel they can just date somebody for however long or be engaged and propose and feel like that's the end all be all. But to a lot of people that are married or to people that are looking to get married, I think that you really just have to take the time to change the narrative in your mindset about marriage and realize the blessings and the things that come along with it. Because no matter what you sign up for, it's not going to be perfect. Right. And I do believe in God. I don't try to get too overly biblical, but it is said that a man that finds a wife has found a good thing and found favor with the Lord. And I truly believe that a lot of the blessings and things that happen in my life is because I found a good thing. Woo! And relationships are so important. Like wife or not, relationships are just so important. And if you can find that person that you can build that relationship with, why wouldn't you want to marry and spend the rest of your life with them? Especially when you two both iron sharpens iron. So that's just kind of why I say change the narrative, because if you're going to settle for anything less than marriage, then you might not be able to receive the full blessing that is in store for you.
That's so true.
Wow.
I just absolutely love this. But now we want you guys to share where we can get your book, where they can get your shirts, how they can find out about your business. Share.
When Dr. Newt said the engine behind the face, go ahead. This is her specialty.
Well, personal page, Tavon Parker. Business pages, I am Tavon Parker on all other social platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I think that's it. But the website is www.tpmotivates.com. You'll get the shirt, the book, the workbook, the journal, the white shirt, black shirt, hoodies coming soon. You can also get the links to our nonprofit, the Advantage Program, to our small business, Tavon's Lawn Care. As you can see here. All that is on the website. If you have any questions after you look at the website, I did a poor job. So yes, get over to the website, www.tpmotivates.com.
As she said, every social media is the same. I am Tavon, Tavon Parker, Parker. I am Tavon Parker. This is my beautiful wife, my personal assistant, my confidant, and everything in between. Tanique Parker. And the website TP Motivates, everything you need: lawn care, nonprofit, books, workbooks, consulting, mentoring, anything you need. And we just want to give you guys a big heartfelt thank you for the idea, for putting us on your platform, for interviewing us, and for having us take a deeper dive into our marriage. Because like I tell her, there's always room to grow. There's always room to improve.
Yes,
so thank you guys.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, you guys,
Hearts and hugs.
This is something right here that you would have paid some money to sit to hear this type of wisdom, to get this kind of interaction live for free. So share this challenge with folks, and go on like it, share it, so folks can be in. Tomorrow we're going to have a single talk. Annabelle Bonilla. She's going to talk about marriage and relationships from the aspect of a single and the whole love languages piece. So tune in tomorrow, share with your friends, keep it moving along, and make sure you go get some merchandise.
Yes, get that merch
from Tavon Parker. I got my shirt. I've been wanting to get up and go get it.
I know.
My wife's shirt's right there. Mine is in the other room.
Right over there. I don't know why
I'm mad. I forgot. I pulled it out.
We're going to put them shirts on tomorrow.
I'll put them shirts on.
That's love. I thank you guys.
Get something from them. Wear it. Sport it. If you get the workbook, if you can't use the workbook or don't want to use it, then they'll donate it to another youth who can use it.
Absolutely.
Support. And let this marriage right here continue to flourish. And as they flourish, they'll pour back into this community, and our community can flourish as well. Hey, you guys, I think that's it for us. So I want to do one last thing. I know that Tavon said that he's not overly religious, right, or anything like that. Neither am I. But what I am going to do is I'm going to proclaim something, because we're spiritual people. So we're just going to proclaim right now in the atmosphere that all things good will fall in front of the Parkers. We're going to go ahead and call their divine providers that have been assigned to them to cross their path, such that they'll collide with those divine providers in a good way, to network, for resources, for training, for finances, for whatever it may be, so that the work that's been placed on their lives will go forward, and it will go forward easily. We go ahead and proclaim that. We're throwing that in the atmosphere right now, and we count it done. So you guys keep doing what you do, and you'll always have a supporter in us.
Amen. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. And everyone, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow right here with Launch 360, Kim and
Dr. New.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, Parker.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Peace.